Hello, new employee. I am one of your new leaders, Firey. And I welcome you to work at the Zone Shipping Experiment Lab. Now that you're working here, you have to partake in caring for each and every one of these things. So let me introduce you to... Hold up. And also, Experiment 001 and 005 do not work anymore. So let me introduce you to Experiment 002, the Funtime animatronics. In the 1980s, we had the tech wizard William Afton to make these things for us. They're war weapons, or as he likes to call them, kidnappers. Don't worry about that. Now, when checking up on Experiment 002, you have to check if Bonbon is with Freddy. There's no other one of Experiment 002. If he is, he's usually on his hand. So, press this part of Freddy's snout to open up his face plates. If they're open before you work on him, run immediately, or he'll try to decapitate you. Just know, don't poke his nose like 20 times. We learned that the hard way. Okay, now that you've learned of Experiment 002, we're gonna save the best two for last. So let me introduce you to Experiment 004, Dog Day. Now, if you can't find Dog Day immediately, ask 003 where he might be. Yeah, they get playful. Now, what do you mean, you dirty Anyway. In case if he is the bottom part of his body is removed, just sew it back on. It's not hard. Now, caretaking for a 004 is not really that hard. You just need to know where he is at all times. Actually, this one is actually kind of a failure because it doesn't want to be the reason why we made it. But there's no worrying about that. So I'll lower this one right here. Hold on. Let me introduce you to Experiment 007, Kanito Pet. Actually, this was supposed to be a vessel for the god of our world, the axolotl, but that didn't work. Instead, we just used it as a little virus. We like to hack it. We made it in the 2000s, which does make sense. It's supposed to be based off things like Bonzi Buddy, which try to get to know you while destroying your computer on the outside. Caretaking for 007 is not really that hard. You just gotta go in the computer, check on him, make sure you don't let him into any of your personal objects, or else he will get he'll delete them. Okay. This is Experiment 008, the Mine Turtle. Some guy named Tom actually made these in the 2012 for us. It's hard to stand up because they're basically flat. But the Mine Turtle works this way. There's a button on the back. If you press it, it explodes. If you step on it, you explode with it. So, I want you to look at the floor more, because if you are not careful, you might accidentally die. And now we save the 2 best experiments for last. Meet experiment 003, catnap. Catnap said, "Don't tell me what to do." This is our pride and joy, experiment 003. We actually made him an experiment 004 for a company in the 90s called Playtime Dough. They wanted actual breathing toys, and we wanted war weapons, so we ended up paying a hefty amount of money to keep this little rascal. Now, when walking into the experiments room, this might be the first thing you might see. Don't worry, it's not just a stuffed catnap plush, it's just catnap. He likes to pretend he's a plush so he can put you to sleep. You see, catnap was made with a gas canister with red hallucinogenic gas in there so we can, like, kill our enemies in their sleep. Just pull his tail. I think this... Actually, you can't really buy a catnap for yourself. They got recalled in the 90s. Catnap? Yes. Why did you get recalled in the 90s? Well... Experiment 006 was known as the Bigger Bodies Initiative. When catnap is in this state, he is very much out to kill you. So, you might have, like... And also, in this state, Experiment 004 goes missing. Yeah, he gets locked inside a jail cell. Oh yeah, if you're wondering what happened to Experiment 00, the entirety of Experiment 005, they all died because, well, apparently there are these things called heretics. Kenneth doesn't really elaborate what a heretic is, so why don't he explains it for you? Okay, thanks, Catnap. The prototype will save us. Theo, I understand that you think the prototype is gonna save us. I don't really think. I mean, it's a failure. The hour of joy soon will be free. That was in June, Catnap. No, get back in your smaller body. Now, to make sure this mechanic of Catnap still works, just ask him to turn into his bigger body and pray to the prototype. What's the prototype? It's the prototype for Experiment 003 that we call 1006. There's not actually 1006 experiments, we just pulled a random number out of a hat. Anyway, hope this was helpful, and if you work here, make sure not to go to sleep on this one. That's nothing, don't worry about that. Okay, bye-bye.